Good morning and welcome to the blog. Well, this is a video I was not expecting to make. Yesterday I was beavering away, catching up on some products that were out of stock, LED expansion boards and servo 4Rs. And this afternoon I'm going to make another 50 or 100, fill that up. So tomorrow when Lucy comes, she can hand solder them, get them all finished. And I thought, well, as they're half baked, I'll just put them back into stock, take them off back order, and then that gives me a day to get them in before anyone orders. Well, people have ordered 4Rs just and LED expansion boards. So here I am all alone going for the sympathy vote, and I'm going to have to hand finish a couple. It's my own fault, but if customer orders, customer gets. They're LED expansion boards. These are 4Rs, just a few. I say there'll be a lot more later. These are solenoids that we need to get finished tomorrow as well, and then there's some power distribution boards under there as well. You probably haven't seen one of those. Let me show you. That's a power distribution board when it's not capable of distributing power, because it's got nothing on it. So my daughter can do those when she's idling by. So the 4Rs, it's been a while since I've made these. Let's have a look. This is a 4R as it comes out of the oven. Come on, give me some focus. Focus. There we go. So that's how they came out of the oven yesterday when I did a few just to carry me over. So I need to put the pins in. So the way we do that is, let's get the board into the frame. I'm just going to do enough to fulfill the orders so I can get on with the main job. And while I'm at it, if I do 2 more of these, that'll see me through today, and then tomorrow we'll be coming back up to normal stock levels. That should do me. I've just had a delivery of microcontrollers as well. Straight from the manufacturer. There are 1,000 ICs in there, 1,000 18 Mega 328s, which we use in most of our products. And that's great because this afternoon I think we would have run out. So to fit pins, I get the pins on 40 pin headers, and then we snap them off and stick them into the appropriate holes. I'm a man, I could do it with my fingers. Wow, look at that. Not really, I just find it the fastest way and I'm lazy. Stick the pins in. This is the most time consuming part of building a board. And because it's through hole, there's no way to automate that. If I change to a surface mount pin that the reflow oven can deal with, that would really speed things up. Unfortunately, the cost of surface mount pins is outrageous. I mean, it would be a material increase in the price of the board, and it would not be insignificant. Of course, that's one too many, so I'm going to resort to me cutters. I can tell when my daughter's been in here doing it, because bits of that are all over the floor. Thanks, Lucy. Good job. But I don't mind, as long as she's having fun. Got to look after your own, haven't you? Haven't you? I'm struggling. And I want some 2s. She's pulled a couple off. I'll nick from her pile there. And let's rinse and repeat for this. So 3, 3, get 2 2s in. 2s are just a bit too short to snap with my fingers. Don't half hurt. But anyway, it's nice to have the business, so I'll get on with it. I'll try and always put the customer first. So if I can get something out same day, if I advertise it as in stock, I want it to go. Even if it's not, that is now my problem, not theirs. So these are going to ship today. I've got 4 hours. And as you saw with the servo controller video last week, after the pins are in, I can then put the software on the chip and test it, package it, and it's good to go. What could possibly go wrong? I hope you're keeping well. We are dead busy as ever. I've actually this morning, I've just been doing a load of admin on the website as well. So I've now changed the way you check out and pay for stuff. People used to complain, and it was a fair complaint, I think, that they didn't want to open a PayPal account to buy because we put all our payments through PayPal. And I used to say, if you look underneath, it says pay by credit card. So you didn't have to pay by PayPal. But the problem there is, depending on who they were on their PC, after a certain number of times apparently, and I didn't know this, PayPal tell me they look at the number of transactions, and once it exceeds a certain point, they are actually forced into creating an account, which I thought was a bit rubbish. Anyway, I've changed the checkout now, so you can pay by PayPal, you can pay by credit card, but there's a direct option to just enter your credit card number and process it. Even though PayPal take the payment, it will never there force you to open an account. And even though it might look like it's my website that's taking the payment, it's not, it's PayPal. So I never know your credit card details. And that's a design choice. I want that way because that clears me from a whole load of admin that I can't be bothered doing if I look at your credit card details. See, I'm lazy. I want the easy option, even if they do charge me a little more for that. There's the 3/4Rs. Now, for the LED expansion boards, it's basically 3 whole rows with specific pins pulled. Where's my pliers? Oh, I can tell when someone's been here. Without my pliers, I can't pull the teeth. If I can't pull the teeth, I can't do the job. Found them. The problem with running workshops in different rooms of the building, even different floors, not everything's where you want it all the time. Now, if I remember correctly, 4 gap, 4 gap, 4 gap. So we're pulling every 5th pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you do it quick enough, you do it by pattern. 1 too short, what an idiot. You see, I haven't done these for a while. I guess I've been lazy. 1. Come back, Lucy, all is forgiven. 3, 4. Tell you what, she's a great solderer now. She's really got the hang of it. She's quite quick, but the quality of her work is very good. Very happy with that. Let's stick the 3 pins on here and here so we can get power and data in and out. Some people might consider power and data to be useful attributes. Now with an LED expansion board, I'll plug that into a multi-panel downstairs and run through every combination of on and off to make sure all the LED channels work. It's fairly quick. The other day on a video, you heard my wife Sheila shout me, and she was offering me choices for lunch. She was offering me a turkey sandwich or something else. I can't remember what, and I went for the something else. Anyway, I was shocked when I got to lunch to find neither. She changed her mind, dished up something else, can't remember what. It's great, this is a story where I can't remember what happened, can't remember any detail, don't really know what I had. Suffice to say, didn't get what I ordered, didn't get what I was offered, but it was bloody lovely. Oh, she's good, you know. I do get looked after. And so I've got a monster batch of 4Rs to do this afternoon. Let me show you all the, hang on a sec, don't go anywhere. This is my outstanding box of blank PCBs. So each one of these holds 25, and there's probably just under 1,000 in there, maybe 900, 950. So now I've got those chips arrived in the other box, over the next couple of weeks, I've got this feeling we're going to be busy. Let's get some more of these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm doing, I'm pulling every 5th one out and just drops in. Now what we learned the hard way is for multi-panels and boards with long groups of pins, they have to go in vertically aligned, because when the lid goes down, there's a possibility it would move the pins slightly. And if they were horizontal and they got pushed over, then the plugs don't fit. And you've got to bin them because they don't look right. So you can't really fix it. So stick them in vertically. One more of those. I think another option we're about to turn on the website is PayPal credit. So if you want to buy a product and pay for it over several installments, that's going to be an option as well. I'm just seeing a resistor there tombstoned. So I'm going to get the air gun on and fix that before I spin the boards over and solder the other bit. Still a little bit of moisture on there from the Galden fluid. Shows how cold it's been here. I don't heat this room. What are we? 13 degrees in here. It's warm enough. Make my own heat. Just put a bit of heat on the resistor and it'll lie flat. If I catch it while it's in the workshop, then it won't be a fail when we test it. If it gets to downstairs, then it'll be marked as a fail and probably the end of the board. So we don't have to scrap it now. Right, let's get the lid on, soldering iron. Clear props. I don't know if you saw on the other video, I've got a integrated air filtration system. I put a hole through the table. Can you see it on the video? Yeah, you can. So that plugs into that slot and it filters and sucks out all the air. It doesn't exhaust it out of the room. I'm going to put it on now. There's the fan on. But it actually goes through a chemical, well, charcoal filter. So what comes out, you can breathe. So they tell me. Right, excuse me while I remember what this, that's the hot bit, that's the cold bit. Right, got it, okay. Pointy end on there, right, here we go. Oh, what a quality job. There's something therapeutic about soldering. If you sit there, it's quite meditative if you're doing lots of pins. Like a bank of multi-panels or LED expansion boards, it's just pin after pin after pin. You know what we need? More heat. Get in and out fast on these. The board I heated before with the heat gun. I've got my little finger on it. I can tell you it's still warm. This cradle I'm using, this PCB tray to hold it, it was outrageously expensive when I bought it. I bought a couple. I tell you what, it's been worth every penny. I need something next where I can hold a PCB, a single PCB, and rotate it all around, where it's not in a tray for repairs. You wouldn't believe what I see for repairs, all sorts of stuff. A lot of the time it's easy to just bin it and replace it than spend the time fixing it. This is very satisfying. I'd forgotten how much I think I enjoyed it. Maybe not after a couple of hours. What are your thoughts on exhibitions this year? We're starting to get exhibition invites through. We got Worley through, which we booked. Great Electric Train Show. I think I've just been called for lunch. And we're just wondering, you know, whether it's worth going or not at this point. If there's any additional precautions needed, like you must wear a mask or something, then I'm thinking it can't be that safe, can it? I suppose most of our target age group will have had their jabs by then. I've got mine tomorrow. Woohoo! Right, I'm going to turn the camera off now. Go have me lunch. I wonder what surprise I've got today. So thanks for following along as I make boards I shouldn't be making, and I'll see you later. Well, true to my word, I've just finished these products. It's quite disruptive in the day to stop and make something, but it's my own fault because I marked them in stock when they were almost in stock. 4Rs LED expansion. So let's get these out. This one is 4R with relays. 4R relays. Where's the relays? Talk to me. There they are. Okay, I'll be needing some of them again soon. We'll wrap that. We'll gift wrap it. Where's that order going to? That one's going to Essex. Sunny Essex. Let's get a bit more bubble wrap. I think we need more of everything. Doesn't matter what you got, it's never enough. And it's good that I'm using it. It means stuff is being sold. Do you know what I haven't done for a while? I've been out flying my drone. So I think I'm going to give that a go. Ah, right. Which one is that from? 4R net. Yeah, this one. So I think this weekend I'm going to give that a blast as well. I did meet A2 CFC earlier on in the year, which is like a certificate to show really you're aware of all the relevant laws. And 86586 and that allows me to fly my legacy drones a little bit closer than I normally could to people and property. That doesn't mean I'm flying over in the gardens, it just means that when I'm out in the field, if there's people around walking dogs, I don't have to run for cover as much. But I like to fly mine early in the morning when the sun's just peeking through. LED expansion board, and this one's going to Gloucestershire. On there, write the order number on, or I'll be opening it to see what the order was. I do like tanking my drone around. It's very different from flying a model aircraft though. I mean, they're so good now. You just, well, I don't think you fly them, you just ask it to go up and down and guide it along. I mean, this thing's got sensors on every side. All 6 sides, there's something there, so if I try and fly it in a tree, it'll stop. That said, I put it in manual or sport mode. A bit more fun, but it still flies itself. Not like the old ones I used to build. It was good luck with them. Let me know how you get on. It was a handful, but it was like flying a model aircraft. There we go. Apply postage. 294 grams there of goodness. 294. Parcel. Blah, 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 blah. Yep, send an email. Click, click, click. And give me, in the words of my granddaughter, a ticket. That's the ticket printer. Don't know if you can see that. Label out and away we go. I hope I haven't got all these addresses readable in there again, otherwise I'm going to be spending forever blurring video. 8654. 8654. What's happening here? Let's give this a reset. There we go. It was looking puzzled. And that weighs 374 grams of goodness. And that also is a parcel. Dig. Tickets, please. Thank you. One thing I've learned to do really well is talk to myself. I don't deny the madness. It helps me get through the day. Right, that'll do for those. Right, I'll come back later and do some more. But for now, I'm good to my promise. I should not have marked products in stock when they really weren't. They were sort of in stock, but it's my own fault. So we'll carry on. Right, I'll see you when I'm doing something else. By the way, I dropped the camera on the way here, so it'll be interesting to see if the thing still works. Hello. Here's a fun one for you. I've got a CAN adapter on the bench with a fault. And it's the first one I've ever had back that's developed a fault. So I'm curious to see what's going on. Now I know the layout it's come from. I know it's been well looked after. And as I say, it's the first one we've ever had back. So I am curious to see what's going on with it. Now what should happen is when you power up, you should get a flash on the transmit light and then it starts to blink. The transmit light comes on and then sits there. So at this point, I haven't got a clue where to look, so we'll try and figure it out. Here's another CAN adapter and you'll see flash and then we're done and it's waiting for data. So I think what I might do, I don't know whether it's a transceiver, the CPU or whatever. I'm suspecting because the CPU controls the light, that's at fault. So I think what I'll do, I'll put a scope on the crystals and see if they're both running. This really is confusing. I'm going to have to change bench now, aren't I, for the scope? Yep. Okay. See you in a minute. So I've moved benches. I've stuck power on this board, connected the scope probe to ground, and I'm just going to check the crystals. I've got the scope here. Hopefully I've set it up. So let's put it on the CPU crystal. Okay, it's reading 16 megahertz. That's running. I did not expect that result. I thought that would not be working. Let me put it on the other side. Triggered, yes. So the CPU seems to be running. See, it's on a wait state now. Let me clear it. Now I'll put it on the CAN adapter side. Nothing. So this crystal isn't running, which is connected to the actual CAN chip. Now, it might be running because the crystal's stuffed. It might be running because the chip's stuffed. I've never seen one of those break, so this is going to be really curious. So I think what I'll do is I'll pull the crystal off and replace that because it's easiest, and see if we get anywhere there. I mean, I could get more in depth. I could start probing around, seeing if there's anything on the SPI bus, blah, 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 but I'm just looking for a quick diagnosis. And it's more out of curiosity than anything. But this board, I think, has been in service for... Come on, give me some focus. There you come. That's been in service for something like 18 months. It was turned off, turned on, and nothing. I would be really surprised if it's the CAN chips, though, but that's the part of the circuit that doesn't seem to be running. Is any garbage on that? There's a bit of something. That's a thought. I've just peeled some muck between the pins. No, it's still the same. Okay, let's move everything round again. Okay, so got the replacement crystal here. Check it's right, 16 meg, yep. So I'll just use the heat gun and pull that one off, let this warm up. And then I'll use the soldering iron to fit the other one. I say it's more a curiosity thing than anything. Can you see there? Come on, get stuck in. There we go. You can see what a mess I make of this. Okay, heat on. Of course you can't see anything. How do I do this so you can see? I think that nozzle's big enough. I don't really care about the crystal at this point, I just want the thing off. Maybe this is the wrong tool. Oh no, there we go. Okay, keep that warm. Just drop that on, whoops. Got the shakes. It's because I didn't have my shredded wheat this morning. Other cereals are available. I'll be curious to see what that does. Otherwise I'll be pulling this chip. We'll just let that cool. I think without switching to the other desk, I can apply power there. I think I've seen ever one other crystal go. So I don't think it's that, but you never know. It's a little bit warm. Okay, wish me luck. Nope, not the crystal. So we're going to change that chip. Right, next thing I need to know, have I got any chips? Let's have a route round here. Yes, I have. Got plenty. So I want this one. These are the CAN transceiver. Well, the CAN. These have got the stack on the protocol, and the little ones have the transceiver. I'll do just one. So I'm grasping at straws. This may fix it, may not. It's not my intention to fix the board. It's my intention to try and understand what actually happened. So I can presume at this point, let's get the hot gun out, the oscillator isn't running. These are replacement chips sitting here. I'm using a piece of wood just to insulate from the mat that might melt, even though I know wood isn't anti-static. Okay. Can you see? Get some heat in the area, get it onto the chip, onto the IC. Probably turn out to be the main nutmelt chip anyway. That was the thing I thought it was, so we'll just keep going. I mean, it could be the transceiver. No idea at this point. I seem to live on this hot gun all the time. Can I just drop another one in? Yes, I think I can. Don't look. If only I could keep my hand still. Of course it jumped when I let go. Okay, I'll give that a minute to cool. See you in a minute when it's cooled. Okay, we're all coolish. All right, let's see what happens now. Power off, get that screwed in. Let's be a bit more thorough. Screwdriver. quite interesting when you get stuff that's a bit of a curveball. This has sat on my bench for a while. All right, light went out. Interesting. Okay, so if I feed it a signal from a multi-panel, we should see the transmit light flash. Cue multi-panel. There's a multi-panel. It's in master mode, so it's generating network traffic. If you put it on the right way around, you have a better chance of things working. And this needs to be in switch 6 on. Not seeing traffic flow. SDA, that's on. Still not working. It's not right. And the multi-panel is complaining of a network fault. Interesting. I wish I'd checked that first. I think it's the Atmel chip. Okay. Do you know what? Let's do what we should have done in the first place and replace it. This is the entire CAN bus protocol on a chip here. It's hardware. Focus. It's made by Microchip. So that is the entire bus and the entire protocol, and it's useful where you've got a chip that doesn't support CAN. So I think I've just wasted one of them. My gut was to change this chip from the beginning. So we'll see. I'll change the chip and then I'll put some software on it. It's going to need a bit of software, so we need an IC. Let's get a replacement. Pull one off the pick and place machine. Let's get the cables off. So I've heat treated the board once. I would never send this back to a customer now, but I just want to know, I want to understand. So if that's gone, I'm going to go with static shock. So I've got the IC the right way round. Yep. So I'll heat this up and just do a quick swap. I would normally remove all the solder with a wick and then reapply it using the iron, but this is a quick and dirty test. So I'm just trying to figure out, trying to understand. You can't see a thing. And let's try again. Doing it so you can see it. Yeah, that's fun. If I hold that still. So I've got the hot gun over the IC. Give it a few seconds for the solder to melt. Is it gone? Not yet. Okay, removed. Now I'll just position the replacement. Need both hands for this, I'm afraid. I need to line it up properly. This is not an exercise in a repair. This is a quick and dirty. Can I figure out what's going on? Okay, so I'll let that cool. I'm going to run downstairs to the office, reprogram it, then we'll come up and see what happens. See you in a minute. So we've just changed the microcontroller IC and I've just reprogrammed it, and we'll give it a go. Well, still nothing. Oh, I got a flash then. The TX light flashed once on power up. That's how it should do. Let's see what happens now. That's in master mode, the multi-panel. So I'd expect to see that light, the TX, this guy here, flash about once a second. Okay, so my gut feeling was right, but I thought I was going with my head when I checked the crystals and found this one not oscillating. So we changed that, still didn't fix it. So I changed the chip that was driving the crystal, the CAN IC, that didn't fix it. And so now we've changed the CPU, which probably was, on reflection, the most likely cause. And it's looking like it's transmitting now. So I'll close this one as I understand the problem now. I think the chip had a static shock of some description. I'll put it against another board and just send some data, confirm that works. I'll have to do that downstairs. And I'm going to send this one back to the customer and they can have it as a spare. But it was just, I was curious because I'd never seen one of these fail. And now it's looking okay. If you look at, you can see the transmit light, what that's doing is that's showing every time a packet comes down the network, in this case from the multi-panel. So you can see there's a scheduler there and it's constantly transmitting, so that if you were to disconnect your layout and then reconnect it, it would automatically synchronize. Within about 12 seconds it goes through everything. But if you send some data outside the scheduler, it just backs off for a little bit. See, and then once you stop doing things and the network goes quiet, it'll pick up and it'll start transmitting packets again in the background. Anyway, hope that was useful. Thanks for watching. See you at the next one.